What is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys what I think is one of the best beginner drift cars in Forza Horizon 2. Now, if you're just getting into drifting in Forza Horizon 2, the biggest thing that you want is something with balance, something that's simple to drift, simple to slide, but also at the same time is forgiving enough if the car starts to go. Now, what this is obviously this is a Mercedes SLS AMG, but it's been upgraded to just over 700 horsepower. This thing has around about 703 horsepower. It's got twin turbos, but the thing is, even with the twin turbos, not a lot of the standard engine is upgraded, and I'll get to that. I'll get to it later why I decided to go with the twin turbos, even though I wasn't going to max out the car. But the only other things it's got on it are a really cool Falcon drift livery, and actually the wheels are stock. So the only other thing is it's lowered on race suspension, and the let's see, it's got one degree of negative camber in the front and half a degree of negative camber in the rear, and the suspension is pretty much lowered all the way. And that's really all that's been done to this car as far as setup goes. It's a really basic setup if you're new to drifting. But the thing about this car, like I said, is it's extremely smooth, as I'll be able to show you guys, well, right now. It's a very easy car to place. See, that's the thing that you want if you're new. Like I said, if you're new to drifting, you want a car that's really easy to place, really easy to slide, and a car that's not going to snap on you. This is probably the last car that's going to snap on you mid-drift. There are some cars that are known for it, or cars that I've experienced that will do it a lot. Like, for example, that 911 GT2 that I tested recently, that thing would, if you didn't get it right, that thing would snap on you immediately. Whereas this, you can just power into a corner, pull the e-brake, you're completely sideways, down a couple gears, and just power right out of it. It is a very smooth car to drift, very easy car to drift, and very simple car to drift. And yes, I get that there are some slightly less pricey options out there as far as drift cars go in Forza Horizon 2, but if you've got the credits, which a lot of people, pretty much most of you will if you've completed any good bit of the story mode. If you've got a good bit of credits and you really want to get into drifting, this would be a really easy way for you to do that, because like I said, right there you can throw it into a big angle and then just give it a little bit of power, a little bit of counter steer, and it will pull right out of the drift. Now, I'm not going to give an actual drift tutorial in this video. I've done a couple of drift tutorials in the past for Forza Horizon 2 going over fundamental techniques. This video is more to highlight this car's abilities and how it would lend itself to being really good for a beginner. Now, another thing that you want to keep in mind is that some people will tell you, myself included actually a lot of the time, that you want to learn how to drift with something that's not got a lot of power. Like, say, a stock FRS or stock AE86, stock Miata, stuff like that. Don't you dare hit me. Oh my god, that was so close. But those cars are really good for learning how to drift on stock, because you learn the fundamentals of momentum. But if you've got the fundamentals of momentum and want to move into something with a little bit more power, or should I say a lot more power, this is a really good option to go with, because of the fact that the power, even though it's twin turbocharged, the power is a really smooth power delivery, because you're dealing with a nice big displacement V8. And the thing is, once the power actually kicks in, once the turbos kick in, you've already had all of that torque leading up to it. And so, like I said, it's a very smooth transition from when the turbos actually lag up. Now, also, keeping in mind that it's not a single turbo, it's a twin turbo, you get that sequential boost, which is definitely something that you want if you're looking for a car that's really smooth. And honestly, I want to give a shout out to the guy that actually made this design, because he did a really, oh god, wow, that was quite bad. But he did a really good job with the design. I really like what he did. I like how it's got, you've got a lot of your your race stickers and stuff like that on there, but I think the base design is really nice. And I feel like a lot of the drift cars that I love to watch are the Falcon cars. The Falcon cars just look so good out there on the track, and this one definitely lends itself well to the Falcon livery, I think. And sideways again, come on. And again, if you wanted, that's the thing with this car. If you want to pull out of the drift, either give it a little bit of power and you can power out of it, or you can let off the throttle and just let the wheels grip back up again and you're good to go that way too. So it really all depends on how you want to drive it. It's a very, very, very forgiving car, and really, you may not even need all, well, you certainly don't quote-unquote need all of this power, but at the same time, it's nice to have, especially if you're just getting used to drifting with power, because the thing is, you want to be able to drift with momentum, and you want to be able to drift with power. There's some people that can't drift anything over, like, 450 horsepower, because they don't like having that much power, but thing is, if you spend a lot of time with it, power drifting is actually quite a bit easier than momentum drifting, if I'm honest. But the thing is, if you learn how to momentum drift first, then power drifting is going to be like just so easy. But if you learn how to power drift first, then momentum drifting may end up being a little bit harder for you, because you're going to go for the power and it's not going to be there. And you need to realize that sometimes you're just going to have to rely on your speed and the momentum that you've been carrying. And if you can do that, you'll just slide effortlessly through most of these corners. I mean, the power, like I said, is just an added bonus. Come on. Okay, that was not very good at all. But we'll leave it in there because, you know what? That stuff happens. It just does. I mean, if... I guarantee you that... Whoa! Really? Wow. And, side note about this car, it's got probably the loudest turbos I've ever heard in Horizon 2. Let me just focus the camera on the front of the car, and go. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, when I had the camera in front of the car, even inside the car, you can hear them. And not only can you hear them, but they sound beast. They sound really, really good. Oh! Wow. Seriously? You're gonna throw traffic cars at me right now? Well, not even traffic cars, a couple of muscle cars. They're like, he drifts better than us. What are we supposed to do? I know. Let's ram him. But like I said, this car is definitely one that you want to look at if you're new to drifting. And I feel like if you're new to drifting in Horizon 2 and you really want to get into something that's a little bit higher powered than a lot of the other beginner cars, then this is definitely a good place to start, because it is so balanced, it's so easy, and it's just such a smooth car to drift. And even with this twin turbo setup, it's very, very simple, and I highly, highly, highly recommend it. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave me a like, tell me in the comment section down below what you guys thought of it, and if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Talk to you guys later.